what happens is people get in the bubble. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're just surrounded by nothing but Christians, and there's no more mission in them. They're
Yeah.
become very teacher, uh, perform and do the thing, and they lose that fire, that passion for the mission and for the lost, and to glorify God in that way. And now imagine, like right now, Francis, just if you were in the bubble before,
Mm.
how many unbelievers do you have on your phone that you can actually, you don't have anybody in your life. No, you're like in a double bubble. So you're just
Yeah.
like dying inside. You know what I mean? Like that's what happens to, like if pastors, all they did was teach and train leaders and they had no outside, like with the world contact, how much more now they're like in a double bubble where it's like, and you just start dying and you start going to sleep. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's what I was thinking of when you were saying that. I was like, man, I've fought against that bubble, even working in Crazy Love or, pastoring and just
Yeah.
dealing with internal stuff. I had to force myself to go out and say, no,
Mhm.
I'm gonna hit the streets. I don't care what happens. I'm gonna hit the streets because that's what he made me to do, you know? And I just had to fight for that. But now you can't hit the streets. You're like,
Yeah.
and so it's like, if you don't force to get out there, you don't realize it, but you're dying inside, you know? It's weird.
Wow, that was good. You know, that was really good. Like what you were saying about not having unbelievers, even on your phone. Like how many uh, people on that list are people who don't know Jesus and us getting it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. As you were saying it, I was thinking, because a lot of times I try to just change something. And, like I'm going to be changing my number, to a Hong Kong number. I got way too many people on that list anyways. Like, I wonder if I just make a commitment, like for every believer's name in there, I got to find an unbeliever, you know, that I know well enough to have his phone number. Because I don't want to be that.
Mhm.
I don't want to get stuck in that. That is what screws us up. No, that's good. That's good because it's love. Like there are still times when I speak to an unbeliever, I look into their eyes, and I'm able to feel that pain again. And maybe see that's why, like in high school, man, I'm surrounded by it. When I'm in junior college, I'm surrounded by it. And so I'm like one of like a handful of believers. I don't even know if the other handful are serious. And so it's like, man, it's just, I'm faced with the lostness of it. But then once I went to Bible college, shoot, that just tanked. And so it's interesting, like right now in Hong Kong, like I'm meeting with these people who, man, they're literally at their offices all day long, 12, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. Like they just live there. But they're starting these prayer meetings. They're asking, man, can we start churches at the workplace? And after talking, I'm almost wondering man, that's probably the best thing for them rather than, going to the place where all the believers are and, getting into a bubble. Like, I was wondering why they're so fired up about these gatherings. Here's what they're saying. They go, look, we've been to church gatherings our whole lives, and I'm just so bored. And it's just, but when I'm at work and I'm sharing with these people and we're praying together here for the lost and we're starting alpha groups and we're doing this and, like there's so much life. And so they stopped going to those services. And now we're asking, can we just start our own gatherings here? Can I even have my family out and to my workplace or like, and I'm starting to think, gosh, that just seems so much wiser and better because it keeps you out of that bubble mentality. And I don't think we realize how much it messes us up.
Hmm. Because it's interesting too, as you think about like, different churches might need to be releasing people off of staff, people who have been in vocational ministry for quite a while. And that could be initially viewed as like such a bad thing. But it was interesting, Rob and I had a scheduled call with a pastor, and the whole earlier today, and the whole timing was confusing. And so he was actually at work when we were calling him, and he's like, "Hey, can I call you back later? Because he's a pastor, but he's doing the like Amazon grocery delivery thing. Because I don't know his situation, but it seemed like he's a pastor, but now he's got to figure out how to do work. And so he's hopped on with delivering groceries with Amazon. I would just imagine there's so many people that have been in vocational ministry as we go into really tough economic times that are going to have to do what you're describing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like what you're saying, like, because we've just seen it as a bad thing. And it may be the greatest thing. For some of I know pastors recently, before the epidemic, that were just saying, I can't do this anymore. I am dying in the church office. And so they're going back to the workplace and still shepherding, and small. I was just talking to a guy who just did that up by you guys out in Roseville. And I just thought that's so cool. Like, he says, this is where I belong. He goes, there's just something in me that comes alive when I'm in that environment and is deadened by the church office environment. He goes, but I've just been scared. And I remember, at Cornerstone, some of the guys were just talking about, maybe I can just work part-time at the church. Can I substitute teach? Can I, we're just trying to figure out ways to stay in the world, because it does get weird in the office. That's why I remember when we were at City Impact, how, I was like, let's just have like a 20-minute limit. Like, you can only be in the office 20 minutes at a time before you have to walk out the doors and share the gospel with someone or be in prayer with people, because I don't want us just sitting in offices staring at screens. Like, we can't be those kind of people. It will deaden you, I promise. And so it was just like this constant push. And so those of you right now that are possibly losing your positions, man, I'm hoping there's at least a part of you that's excited about the journey and going, God, I really don't want to go back in the workplace. It's me way uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to depend on you to even find me a job. But there's a little bit of it that's exciting. And there's a little bit of you that's wanted to be back in a secular place anyways. And like you said, this could be the greatest thing for the church.